Hello students, welcome to my channel Botanical Academia. Today we are going to learn about fungi. So you must have heard about fungi a lot. Maybe you know about mushrooms. Many of you must be liking mushrooms. So what are fungi exactly? So before diving into what fungi are, we need to know what is the five kingdom classification, which consists of Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Usually, fungi are studied under Kingdom Plantae. Usually, all the botany departments of all colleges teach fungi. But fungi are a kingdom in themselves because they are quite different from Kingdom Plantae. They are also quite different from Kingdom Animalia. They've got a cell wall which makes them similar to Kingdom Plantae, but that cell wall is made up of a different material than what the cell wall is made up of in plants. In plants, the cell wall is made up of, well, it is made up of cellulose. So, what are the characteristics of this kingdom fungi? They are eukaryotic, that means all the cell organelles which are there, they are enclosed within a proper membrane, especially the nuclear material. They are absorptive organisms. Mostly they are multicellular, except yeast. Yeast, yeast you must be knowing about, I guess. They are heterotrophic, they are decomposers and parasitic. Mycelium, which is there, it is their body. So the cell walls, as I was telling you about, they are made up of chitin. The spores, they are called as reproductive bodies. So what are spores? We'll subsequently know about them when we are going to study about particular fungi. We'll be studying about Rhizopus and Aspergillus. You'll know in a while. Now they include molds, yeasts, rusts and mushrooms. Rusts, which are basically plant pathogenic. Okay, so fungi are actually very much, they have a wide range. They can infect animals, they can infect humans, they can infect plants. Also, many of them are saprophytes, and many of them we eat. Some of them are poisonous as well. So they have a wide range inside them. It's a kingdom in itself. So their body, it is called as hyphae, constructed of tiny filaments, and the interwoven mat of hyphae, it is called as a mycelium. So here you can see a picture of a mushroom like looking fungus, which is nothing, it is showing a fruiting body which we all eat, but that is nothing but the mycelium, the interwoven mat of hyphae, which is forming this particular structure. So all the reproductive structures formed in fungi, they are also made up of the hyphae. Now you can look over here, the fungal hyphae, how small it is in comparison to the human hair. And of course, the black and white image is the electron micrograph of the fungal mycelium. Now there are two types of hypha. They can be septate with cross walls, and they can be cenocytic. That means there are no cross walls, there is no septa, there is no wall between the nuclei, and the nuclei are just floating inside the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm is known as a continuous cytoplasm. In septate hypha, the cytoplasm is divided by all these septa, and hence we can say that that particular fungus is a multicellular fungus. The xenocytic, in the xenocytic hypha, we will simply call it as multinucleate because it is a continuous cytoplasm. Fungi also produce haustoria, okay, which are modified hyphae. They can also produce sporangiophores, conidiophores, etc. And we'll see about that later in the later videos. The function of haustoria is nothing but absorption of nutrients from the host. So in the image to your left, you can see how the fungi are forming the haustoria inside the plant cell. Some fungi even have hyphae which are adapted for preying on animals. So if you can see on your right, you can see that the fungus is there, which is basically has formed a ring-like structure which is trapping this big nematode. So fungi, they are so small and tiny, and you can see here that they have just trapped a big nematode inside them just by forming a ring-like structure of the hyphae. So whatever is formed inside the fungi or fungi, they are all made up of hyphae. Okay, so any kind of structure which is there, this is all hyphae. So fungi are very much resourceful in that matter. There are three main classes of fungi: lower, higher, and imperfect fungi. Lower fungi consist of zygomycetes, mucor, and rhizopus, which we'll be studying about subsequently. Higher fungi consist of ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Ascomycetes consist of yeast, which everyone loves to use in while baking, and uroshium. I'll tell you what uroshium is in a while. And basidiomycetes such as mushrooms that we eat, and rust is a disease which is caused by Puccinia. Puccinia is the fungus. So rust is caused in plants. Usually wheat rust is the most common disease caused by Puccinia. Under imperfect fungi, they are also called as deuteromycetes. We get Penicillium aspiculus, etc. Now, in imperfect fungi, all the fungi which do not have a sexual stage or the sexual stage has not been found, only the asexual stage is known or researched, those fungi are kept. So, initially, no sexual stage of Aspergillus was known. There was another fungus which was called as Uroshium, which was known, which formed some sort of a fruiting body, you can say, known as Chrysotecium. But you know, people were not happy with that thing. Like, they still wondered what it was, and they were still wondering where is the sexual stage of Aspergillus. So later on, when the molecular studies were done, people found out that Uroshium is nothing but Aspergillus's sexual stage. So all the fungi whose sexual stage has not been found out, they are kept under imperfect fungi, and once the sexual stage is known, they are picked up from that imperfect fungi class and they are put under the appropriate class. So in this case, Aspergillus was picked up from Deuteromycetes and it was put under Ascomycetes. So that's it for the introduction of fungi. We'll be studying about Rhizopus and Aspergillus subsequently. So stay tuned and keep studying.